I didn't see you there. Hey, KADs.
Hey, KADs. That'll be our intro today. Hey, cat. Hey, just didn't see you there.
Ready for that triumphant light? What's good? What's not good?
Yeah.
Did we even get to? Did any of us get to utilize any of these cards in a deck yet?
Not effectively.
I've gotten used by them.
Yeah.
I'm just running my basic stuff. Everyone's got a Darkrai deck, so I've been kind of running a Darkrai deck, and man, has Leafeon been whipping my ass. I'll tell you that. But
that trick.
What a great segue.
Yeah, so I guess we could just start there.
Pokebeach it. Let's see some cards.
Yeah. Let's put on that screen share.
While you pull that up, I did get washed by somebody who had 2 alternate Arceuses. and the secret rare Articuno. He just had like all the cards.
So our real first segment is what's been whooping our ass.
What's been whipping our ass? Yep.
Leafeon is strong as hell in the beginning. I will just say that.
Yeah, it's the combo of like Leafeon, and then you have Celebi in the back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Celebi's becoming more relevant now.
You got too many
which
problems.
Is interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let me click.
Like we were just getting over the Executor. I feel like we're gonna get to this actually pretty quickly. Because is there anything else even before this that's even relevant? Combi, no. The bee, no. The cherry, no. my cat, no. Okay,
stays irrelevant.
We can briefly touch on Carnivine, very briefly.
Are all these kind of gonna coincide with an Arceus discussion? You think?
Yes, I've seen a lot of people use multiple Arceus power link things.
Yeah, it's all experimenting.
Yeah, everyone's trying to experiment what's going good with like damages and like reducing damages, and every Arceus card, if you try to play it in an Arceus EX deck, seems to have a role to play in how you want to spin it.
Yeah, and Carnivine basically turns into Skarmory. Let's just put it that way. Does 50 damage. It's pretty solid. I just haven't seen any reason to use this one over all the other stuff you could use with Arceus. But I'm curious. I feel like if somebody kind of mixes a grass deck with an Arceus deck, like Carnivine, I guess could be good. I haven't gotten beaten by it, but it has potential.
It's a good early game play.
80 HP is pretty good.
Yeah.
50 damage is very good. 50 damage washes a lot of things.
Right.
So I could see this being in a winning deck. I just haven't seen anyone do it yet.
Yeah, I mean we'll kind of, I guess, once we start getting into Arceus in a little bit, we'll see the best pairings. At least what we've been seeing early on. But sure. Leafeon, it's
oh my god, this fucking thing, man.
Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may take a grass energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your grass Pokemon.
Yeah, this thing's a bad motherfucker. This is basically Lilligant without attacking.
Dude.
You know what I've seen? You know what the most annoying, like this okay.
Tell me the most busted setup you've seen, and I'll tell you mine.
Okay, because
it might be the same thing.
I've seen Superior paired with this, which is really annoying. And you have Celebi.
That's super excessive.
That's
overkill.
It sets up super quick, and I've seen that a lot.
Okay,
there is the meta.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to
with
talk about how
Shaman
busted.
And Celebi.
Yeah, we'll get into Shaman in a bit.
You want to hear some? Keep going.
But no, the one that's been clear, giving me a lot of trouble that I've seen a lot of people use is the Superior one.
Interesting. I would have thought you'd say like Leafeon Celebi were just like sitting in the back. Can I tell you, like, hot take?
Go for it.
I think this card maybe the best card of the entire set.
Okay.
I'll explain why. Debatable with Arceus, like very
Debatable.
close. Okay, I will say Arceus is definitely might be the best, but Leafeon is a sleeper pick. The reason why I'll say that, I got washed by a Leafeon water deck.
Oh yeah.
And the reason why is because Leafeon, just like how Magnezone was probably the best card of Space Time Smackdown
Yep.
because it can just set itself up, Leafeon also can just set itself up. You don't need to run a grass deck.
Gotcha.
And the reason why that's busted is because Erica was already annoying as hell with Executor because it just never dies and then you're potioning it. But with Leafeon, if I can finally get one or two Leafeons, I can do it like an experiment deck. But with Leafeon, you can run a water deck, have Manaphy give it water energy, or just give it water energy straight up. Have it give itself the final grass energy that it needs to attack, and then you can heal it with not just Erica, but you can heal it with Arita, which also does 40 health, which is kind of disgusting because Executor can't do that.
Yeah, it's just there. It's all about the survivability with these grass cards.
Yeah, and they start so strong.
You're starting to see it now with this expansion that like now they're trying to make you expand into making multiple energy decks, which is now possible, which we were talking about before this set came out. When are they going to do it? How are you going to do it now? Like now it's starting to be possible, and that's not even the only that's not even the only multiple energy deck being like experimented with, but it is very useful. People are having a lot of success with it. I've seen it too.
Yeah, it's balancing. I mean, it's what made Darkrai Magnezone probably one of the best decks from the last meta, if you will. And that was just because Darkrai could do a bunch of shit from the bench. It was dark energy only, and then Magnezone was just building itself up. The fact that Leafeon can do that, I don't want to say it's better than Executor, because Executor, until this set came out, Executor was king. Like I think it was the best card of the entire game, which is crazy because it came out right in the beginning of the game. It just no one really realized how good it was until it just sat there and just destroyed everything that came new. But Leafeon,
2 energy, bro. 2 energy. It's just fucking.
No, 1 energy to attack.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 1 energy.
1 energy, dude.
It's still you can still mix that shit in.
Oh, it's still good. It's still godly. It's still OG. It's still godly.
I think it's still a top tier deck.
Yeah, but
everybody wants to play with new toys, but like Executor is still that dude.
Executor is still that guy. He's still excellent. But I just think the idea here is that Leafeon doesn't need to be on a grass deck, which makes it gives you that kind. It's almost like if Executor and Magnezone had a baby, Leafeon EX is that child, and it's a dangerous child. It just does too much, and it can wipe out a lot of your basic Pokemon when you're just starting the game. And by the time you get wiped out, you're sitting there like, all right, what's next? And then you just see a Celebi in the back just getting juiced up, which is so dangerous. It's and this goes for anything that could take on a grass energy. So that could be any colorless. Like this gives you the Manaphy effect of being able to just pump up something that needs a single energy. So it's hard to kill. It feeds other things. This thing is dangerous.
Ew, and Kumba, you ran into this and Superior and Celebi
in the same deck, yeah.
Gay.
And Celebi in the back.
A lot.
So they just swapped Celebi in like 8 turns later. And
so
here's
I'm gonna
12 coin flip you.
Here's the general breakdown of how it would go. They would start with 1 Leafeon in the front, 1 Leafeon in the back. Superior is fully set up, and Celebi is in the back. I'd wipe out one of the Leafeon, and then just get bodied by the Celebi rolling like 10s.
That's pretty trolly because like realistically, that's not even a good setup because it's requiring so many things to line up evolution wise.
Dude, it just happens.
But
Just
the fact that
watching it unfold and like setting up in front of you, and you're like, I have to beat him before he sets this up.
It just
It's
happens so
painful.
much.
That's so funny because I haven't seen that once, which just shows you that you're running into like the super trolls on ladder. I didn't see that
So
one
annoying.
time. That's so inefficient. Like
Just seeing the wind up, like
It's beating the Darkrai
It's
Magnezone.
slow-mo.
So
oh yeah, of course it is. That shit stands no
actually,
chance.
in a way, it's a little anti-meta that deck, because if you're running Darkrai Magnezone, Darkrai Magnezone isn't exactly like the Pikachu deck, like just get up and go. You're setting up a little bit.
Yeah, you need some time.
And it's got, you need some time, and this Leafeon deck just peaks so much higher, like once it's fully set up, that it's like mid game there's not a lot of wiggle room, and that's really where like Darkrai excels, is the mid game, because it wipes it out before like anything else. Like, you are weak early game, mid game is where Darkrai peaks. But by
mid
that
to long
time,
game, I would say for sure.
But by that time, with this Leafeon deck, it's like it's almost too much to overcome because you'll wipe out the Leafeon, great, and if there was just another Leafeon in the back, that's manageable. But no, you have the stupid Celebi with like 4 to 5 energies plus the superior. It's a problem, man.
Will we be returning to the Blaine deck?
Oh, dude, every time they drop a set, I'm sitting here like, please, something feed the Blaine deck. And all they gave us was a freaking double energy Rapidash and a coin flipping Ponyta. Give us something with sauce. I want an EX. Please. The grass is getting out of control. Yeah. And Fire did get some things to play with. I'm not going to take that away. But it's like as soon as Fire gets a little better, Grass just gets 10 times better again. It's like, it's too overwhelming. This thing fucks up. I tried to actually run a Ninetales. I tried to run a Blaine deck, and I experimented with like a Blaine Magnezone hybrid, like with like a Ninetales. I was like, gotta juice up Blaine somehow. And dude, like I would just have Vulpix out, and Leafeon would just set up so quickly that it just wipes out Vulpix. You don't even get to turn into Ninetales. So
wow,
that should tell you something, that this thing is extremely aggressive early game. And then if you don't wipe it out because it's Ericaing itself, it's setting up something that's even scarier. So it just does too much. I know everyone's saying Arceus is one of the best, but holy fuck.
You can't even get a pat on the back, because not only are they Ericaing, you can even drop a Shaman in there and just passively heal. You're always passively healing. And then if you use tools, you can Giant Cape. Like, this thing it can just become unkillable. And then by the time you get past Leafeon, they're like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna put Celebi in. GG.
Yeah, it's like, here we go, ding ling ling, and it's like, dude, and then it's really turning into people are just running multiple EXs. Like, it's not even like, oh, let me just take out their other thing first, like a Drudagon, right?
They don't give a shit.
They're like, and you're like, I'm gonna go all in on this Leafeon. It's like, no, like they're just gonna let Leafeon sit there, be a menace, and it doesn't have that unpredictability. And this is why I'm saying this could be one of the best cards, is that Executor is king, but Executor needs coin flips, and he can very well hit 40 hit damaging attacks that are not good enough. Leafeon, yes, it takes him one more energy to really technically get moving, right? But 70 every single time, and one retreat. Yeah, it's like, dude, you can't even properly Cyrus this thing, because it probably can bob in and out easier, whereas Executor has to stay there. This card gives me anxiety.
It's tough in the street.
It's given us all anxiety. Let's move on. There's plenty of other cards to
just stop glazing grass and let's get
upset
about.
Not good. Not really.
Beautiful art. Houndoom,
that was
by the way.
That
beautiful
is an OG.
Yes,
art.
it is. Yeah, vintage.
Love that art.
Paying
not
homage.
Not good enough as a card, but let's move on. Heat Ran. Let's take some time, a little bit of time with this one, not too much, but I would say the best. This is a little aggressive, but I may say this is the best card that can link to Arceus.
Yeah, it doing 80 damage is pretty solid. 110 is good enough HP, and I think the best part about it is its typing, because then you could at least do 100 damage then to a grass deck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get one punch and get out. Basically.
This thing can destroy Leafeon. It can destroy Executor. 2 shots Executor with a cape.
With a cape, yep.
So it's like this thing just does a lot. And the scary thing about it is that Arceus, your boy, Arceus, can just be on the bench. Like, hey man, let me know when you want to come out. Right. And then just no retreat. Like, that's kind of insane to not get penalized. You know, you're just sitting there like throwing out these aggressive moves. Maybe you hit somebody, especially with how much people are using the helmet thing, the Rocky helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You might just purposely bump into a Rocky helmet because you want to just get some quick damage on yourself, and then you're just firing off 80 damage.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's busted. Very anti-meta.
Yes, I agree.
Will this go on a Blaine deck?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I haven't gotten one to experiment because I don't fucking pay hundreds of dollars to play this game, these bastards. All right, moving on. Trash.
Super trash.
Trash. All trash.
Not great.
Trash. I did get washed by this, I'm not gonna lie. The only time I ran into this thing is when there's a basic evolution version of the one right before that has it came from Space Time. It specifically says if you're fighting a fighting type, you do 40 damage on your basic move. And I was using a Machamp deck. So I'm in there with a Machop, and I'm like, oh, let's fucking go. Like, I'm gonna Machop. I got Machoke in the back. Like, I'm on the ramp. I'm gonna destroy you. I hit him with the freaking punch. He hits me with 40. I'm like, oh, okay. That was a little more aggressive than I thought. And then I switched to Machoke, and I'm like, all right, I'm like hurting a little bit, but it's Machoke. Like, I'll finish. Abomasnow comes in, Arceus comes in, finishes me. And I'm just like, all right, like.
Go fuck myself.
Yeah.
Perfect storm.
Perfect. Yeah, like Arceus.
Good job matchmaking.
Literally.
Well, and that's the thing. We're not going to see like anything like that in ranked.
No.
Just
no.
Not,
just gonna see the meta.
That's a whole other discussion, but yeah. Maybe that's when we'll finally
cover it.
This.
We'll do our best.
We'll cover the ranked stuff and kind of go over the meta in detail then. All right.
The super
put a pin in it. All right.
Oh.
Okay.
This thing.
S tier.
Really?
I mean, kind of.
I'm not just saying that because I like Glaceon, but I am.
Yes, you are.
You're glazing.
I'm glazing Glaceon so hard.
Wow, I didn't realize those words are so similar.
Glaceon.
I just can't believe you guys agree.
Johnny, what's your favorite? No. Glaceon.
Glaceon EX. Yeah.
The wording is so weird because this is the only card that says anything about Pokemon Checkup.
Mm-hmm.
So
which, for those who don't know,
me.
Pokemon Checkup is literally the idle screen after your turn is ending.
Like standby phase, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's like whenever you take poison damage, that's what checkup moment is. So the crazy thing about Checkup Glaceon is that happens every single turn, like poison. So you end your turn, you take 10 damage. I end my turn, I take 10. You take 10 damage. It's so crazy that you could finish something off of Glaceon. Your opponent can bring a Pokemon in because you just finished it, and it immediately comes in taking 10 damage before the turn starts.
Yeah, that's lit.
That happened to me, and I was like, what the fuck? You just got an advantage. Like, I'm not at max HP, and I just started.
Right. And, its HP is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Its damage is respectable.
Something I've been thinking about, where Leafeon is just extremely aggressive and you can splash it a little bit. Glaceon, it's really good. Don't get me wrong. But with so much good water types, the archetype of water is just so godly that I have to wonder, as good as this is this better to center a deck around versus a Gyarados versus a Palkia?
No.
Articuno probably, I will say, but you got some heat in the water archetype.
It's two things you would use this for. You would use it because of its weakness. It's not electric weakness, so you could use a water deck countering electric type. You could battle electric types without taking the weakness extra damage.
Good point.
And like water types usually have good retreat costs anyway, so it doesn't go above anybody on that. But that would be the one thing, just because like now you're combining ice types and water types in the same,
like balancing a water
color.
deck.
Yeah, so you could just mix up your weaknesses for checks and balances.
Okay.
But yeah, that with the addition of Manaphy now, like you could just run any water deck, ice type deck, whatever you want, or even like multi-energy decks or colorless decks with Manaphy. So it's Glaceon kind of gets lost in the shuffle with that. But if you want to be different, and bring back Articuno in, you would use Articuno and Glaceon together. But I still think, I would still use the Palkia deck.
So that's what I was thinking, is like, does this replace, like, for people who play the Palkia deck, if right now, like, the best Palkia deck I'm gonna just say is Palkia, Manaphy, and Vaporeon. It just works so well together. There's so much synergy, and Palkia just popping off on these 150 damage attacking moves. Does it make sense to take out Vaporeon and put Glaceon in? That's something that I contemplate.
It's tough to go against putting a Palkia out because it's a basic, so you're just sweeping past one turn, especially because he has a 1 energy 30 damage attack.
Right.
So and he's just a wall. So like if you have two, if you run 2, you could just leave the first one out and just bring the second one out. So the HP point is like Palkia is superior.
Palkia is superior in a lot of ways. That's again, that just goes back to the point of like where Leafeon felt very shocking, Glaceon felt really good, but I couldn't see it replacing like a god like Executor, right? Like I feel like this is more of like a what do you pair it with, not so much what do you center everything around.
Yeah, with pairing Glaceon with Articuno definitely works because Articuno now becomes your basic type.
Yeah.
But it obviously if you're trying to run Manaphy, it's even harder because now you're sharing your Pokeball usage with Manaphy and Articuno. True. So you might not draw the right things. And if you just decide not to use Manaphy just to save yourself like basic slots, and you use you're flipping for Misty.
Right, which is when the game gets risky now.
Yeah, everything relies on you getting those energies, and it's either you use Manaphy or you use Misty.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts, Kumba, on this one?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a big fish, but in a big pond. So
yeah,
too much water.
It's too much water.
7 out of 10, too much water.
Yeah, Gyarados is clearly, I think, still the best. Pair that with Greninja. Palkia
I forgot about Greninja too.
Palkia's up there. I think those are probably the top 2 with like then Glaceon kind of. Again, we don't know how the meta is going to shake out. Maybe if you pair Glaceon with something else, things start making a little more competitive. But I think as the deck is right now, I think it's inferior to the other 2. With Leafeon being superior to Glaceon in this case.
Ultimately, this is just to I believe this is just to battle electric type decks better.
Yeah.
with a water deck, and that's pretty much.
And then you have to say, just kind of like closing thought on that is electric good enough to require this? Maybe it's just not the time for Glaceon.
I don't even know if we have an electric technically though.
It just hits hard.
We don't.
Top right now. So
like
electric
Magnezone just hits hard enough to take. No, Magnezone hits hard enough to take Palkia, so that's why like
that's true. That's true.
Glaceon can take a Magnezone hit,
and that's where I have to say, I think right now the time is just not right. I think Glaceon's good, but if Magnezone's the best electric Pokemon or archetype, period, and there's not actually an electric deck that really runs full electric, then you don't need this like workaround yet.
Too soon, Toretto. Maybe another 2 sets.
Yeah, put your glaze away. Put your glaze away, Kumba.
Nah, I still glaze it. Still glaze it.
Glaceon's not glazing.
We love Glaceon.
I know you do.
Fuck this card. Get this off my screen. Origin Form Palkia. Yeah, you ain't that good.
Yeah, it's not good. I feel like it could maybe. I don't know.
It's a lot to set up for base 60.
3 energy. Get out of here.
Yeah, coin flipping.
Water pulse.
Not enough HP to be a menace. No. Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, agreed. I'm sure there's going to be people that are going to want us to talk about a little more, but there's just better Raichu stuff, I feel like.
I still run the first Raichu that came out.
Yeah, so and there's better stuff to pair with Arceus. So onward. It is what it is.
Basic.
Yeah, fast scroll it.
I like him.
Fast scroll it.
Pee-pee.
Just fast scroll these.
Pixie.
More Clefable. More Ghastlies.
Cool art.
Cool art. Look at that.
Mumble.
Look at that sunset.
What a funny attack.
Is another circular composition. Look at that.
I actually think I have that card, like physically.
Check. Once per turn, you may choose either player. I never actually looked at any of the unknown stuff.
Yeah.
Rotom.
This we could take a quick second. It's a colorless energy hitting move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that is decent. You can throw it on any Arceus deck where you want to hit bench. Combo with Cyrus. You could start being a menace and start pulling things onto the board that don't want to be on the board.
HP solid too for first turn.
Mm-hmm. So I will say solid. Could be on a winning deck. It just comes down to who theory decks it.
What is it like a Spirit to Me type of play if you're running this thing?
Yeah, except you're hyper fixating on one thing, doing a little more damage than a Spiritomb would.
Right, 20 damage. Yeah, so
trying to take that Snivy out before it evolves into Superior. So
that's only Kumba dealing with that.
Giving you some mental notes here.
You may want to look into this card.
Get
Kumba.
this Rotom.
It was truly astonishing because I'm like, this isn't like.
There's no way this could work.
But it's like it's just it's such a trolley deck. It's not like. Anyways.
Yeah, that does brought tears. And then last point on that card, I will just say is that you don't need to. You have no retreat cost again. So, just like this menace behavior of just in and out.
I mean, look how quick he's moving in and out.
Oh yeah,
menace.
Oh,
all right, we're gonna start the video over.
Early game goat.
Yeah, actually pretty solid. The art is trash, but I will say it's too aggressive.
I like the color scheme.
He's a mean thumper.
This is the Sudowoodo that when you ran into the game where they said it wouldn't move. This is what happens when you hit it with the squirt bottle. If you know, you know.
Doing 50 damage off the rip to like RCCX is pretty solid.
That's 70 damage with the super effective actually.
Oh yeah.
Is this anti-meta?
This is anti-RC. Yeah.
Sudowoodo comes in. And actually at 2 shots RCS EX.
They're trying to get the fuck out of there. Heatran, where are you?
That's when you pull an Arceus and you have nothing else in your hands. You're like, all right, like this thing can, soak up some. And then
Get
this thing, Sudowoodo pops in, enters the chat.
That's instant concede by Sudowoodo. Dude, fucking put this out with Lucario and you just fucking get a winner.
Never thought we'd be talking about Sudowoodo this way.
Hey, get that hardwood. Let's go.
So yeah, decently good actually. Pseudowoodo's decently good.
Blazing that hardwood.
You can fast run these.
Shoo.
Tyranitar. Okay, I will say it has potential. They just need to be able to ramp up fighting types for this to be good. 4 energy is a lot. However, 160 with the Power Link ability does clear most of the meta, so we can't take that away from Tyranitar. 160 is a lot of damage.
They just gotta find like a trainer card to help get like fighting energies. They only have Brock, but Brock only helps. Yeah, Brock only helps his fucking hard on constipated Onyx.
You hear that? Hear that, guys? You heard it here. If they drop a Steelix card, Brock might be the GOAT. However,
We're
right
bound
now
to get a Steelix EX, right?
it's
That's
coming. It's gotta. But Tyranitar is just not there. It does a shit ton of damage, and I've definitely seen people win with it, but you're not winning a tournament with it. Too slow.
No.
And grass weakness, trash. Leafeon said hello. Okay.
Let's go.
We can talk about this. Almost tearing up.
What a fuck. What a fuck.
This thing is fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. Not so much because of the attack, because if you really think about it, the attack is like pretty much the same thing as the other one that we had. But linear attack is actually extremely good because that can hit your bench.
That's right.
So I was actually fighting this with the Darkrai Magnezone deck, which I just got, by the way. I ended up just giving in and buying the Magnezone. I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to pull any Magnezones this entire time. I'm going to buy both. Anyway, I was fighting one, setting up Darkrai. He literally just had to kill my Druddigon and finish me. He comes in and 50 damage hits me on the giant cape of my freaking Darkrai.
Dang.
And I'm just sitting there like, great. So I'm going to come in now and I'm not going to finish you. And then you're just going to finish it. So if you can hit a bench with 50 late game, that is extremely good.
Crazy. Because look at his HP. You got 170. What can one-shot him besides like Charizard?
Yeah, nothing.
And then look at the retreat cost. You got 1.
That's nuts. That's nuts. And
stage EX.
And I will say, like, a pro tip moment, because grass is dangerous, is that the first evolution, maybe even the second if you want to get a little risky and not do damage, but the first evolution, you could just run the original dragon type version and avoid your grass weakness with no super effective damage.
He's right.
So a little workaround, because you don't want to get knocked out immediately by Leafeon or whatever. Executor, whatever. But yeah, this is a pretty cool card. I haven't gotten one yet.
I've seen people pair this up with Lucario.
I can see it.
And boost that up.
Yeah, this has the ability, like, I feel like fighting wants a really good stage 2. You know, you see Aerodactyls popping in and out with the Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, Marshadow. It has, like, fighting ground, whatever you want to call it, has a lot of good pieces to be able to win tournaments.
They want to the meta table.
They're knocking at the door. It really comes down to one update that just pushes fighting, especially if Arceus is running around. It really just takes one update to make fighting like super good. Like I would say top tier.
Bruno, where are you at? Let's go, Bruno.
The boy. You talking about Bruno from that movie?
No, Bruno Elite Four.
No, I know.
I mean, if you want, we can get Bruno from the movie. Give me the trainer card. way stronger than the Elite Four, Bruno.
That's when Japan gives in to the Western powers.
I would argue that this is like the best.
Really?
GX, yeah. Just for like the effect. Look at the effect.
I know. Okay. My only thing with it, you gotta evolve it. It's like Greninja, but you can't pick. I don't know. I see people also saying like he's one of the best, but it's like if you can only hit the active spot, like
you just gotta pair it up with like the correct things that are already doing passive damage.
Like Darkrai.
Yeah.
You know, I could see a Darkrai Arceus Crobat combo. That could be a little bit of just like a menace, you know, sitting back and annoying.
Because once you get him set up with Darkrai already doing passive damage, you're doing 50.
Yeah.
Every turn.
So when
you're giving energy to Darkrai, and by the time you set up Crobat, you're gonna one shot whatever's out there.
True. Especially if Arceus is out, you're able to do 130 plus the 30.
Let me run this deck by you. Okay.
Okay.
You have your Zubat, your Zubat line.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're running Manaphy, Articuno, and Arceus.
I like it. This is the type of stuff I want to see. I want to see more theory like decks like beating me. I don't want to see like a random fucking. I don't want to see enough of the Leafeons. Like that sounded cool to me. I didn't even think of that.
Well, that's one of the decks that seems to be going around right now.
The crazy thing about
like
the Arceus decks is it says Arceus EX or regular Arceus.
Yeah.
So you can run an Arceus deck without EX.
True.
So you never have to waste EX spaces just in case somebody Sabrina's Arceus in for whatever reason.
True. I'd like to think Crobat can be a menace. I'm just not fully sold on the 2-stage personally. Yeah. Just because we've gotten blessed with Greninja so early, and Greninja is so good. And Greninja can hit something random, and then you pull that in with Cyrus. Like I actually think Cyrus buffed Greninja. You know, so
Cyrus is still a menace. Cyrus is
a fantastic card.
Yeah, actually very healthy for the meta. It actually changed the meta very dramatically.
Right.
Made Pikachu bad immediately. But I only have 1 retreat cost. Yeah, get the fuck back over here. It doesn't matter.
R.I.P. Iceberg. You just had to fucking bury him.
But yeah, we can move on. This thing has potential.
Yeah, you can skip over him.
Yeah, pretty bad.
Meh.
No, not even worth.
Meh.
Versus the other Magnezone? No. Why?
Meh.
Let's take a moment.
We could take a moment, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm seeing online is this is paired with Dialga and Skarmory.
Yeah, they're trying to complement more steel type stuff, which is very healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think steel type is there at the top yet, but it's just like fighting where it's like it's knocking on the door, which is I guess kind of unfair because fighting was better than steel at the beginning of this whole thing, and like steel was just like check off the box because you're also a typing, but we'll give you like 2 cards in the first set. So
yeah,
unfairly had to catch up at the same time as everybody else.
Yeah. A good way to put it.
But like they're really trying to push steel types, obviously, because of Dialga.
Yeah. I will say like they gave a little more support to steel. And Dialga has always been one of the best cards. It's just that same unfortunate thing is that it doesn't have anything to team up with, especially steel. I will say I don't think this Probo Pass is the thing that's going to push Dialga over the edge.
Yeah, it sucks because like to run a steel type deck, it basically seems like you have to use Dialga.
Yeah, you do. Or you're doing
some like around of it.
or you're doing some Skarmory Magnezone stuff, but that's not really a
It's
steel
yeah,
deck.
it's Skarmory then.
That's not beating any
really...
meta
Yeah.
stuff.
So steel's not
It's
there yet.
meme.
It's very meh. It's very much it's not there. And I don't think Probopass is there because Probopass is unfortunately also an EX, so you lose 2 points, and it has a huge retreat cost, and it also is like a what's that other thing? It's like a steel like Bastodon, right? That's like a steel fossil. I'd almost rather use that because that thing is.
I don't know. The strategy, the strat is not there yet for steel because all these steel type cards seem very stally or tanky.
Yeah.
And the game, and the game is just not on stall or heal yet.
Yeah.
Not heal. Sorry. Tanking.
No, both. I would say it doesn't stall. It like kind of stalls, but it's not good enough in a fast meta. You can't stall out a fast meta, and then there's no healing at all. You can't slow down the Leafeon or the Celebi.
And you're not swapping because the retreat costs are just disgusting. So it's like
the most stally top tier is the Darkrai deck, I think. And that's only because it doesn't necessarily stall; it just slows the pace down a little bit. I would even take it a step further and say Darkrai Greninja is the stalliest. Okay.
Plus, steel type for as stally as it wants to be, there's no reward.
Or maybe it's Executor. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no reward at the end game of at the final stages of a match for steel type.
That's like a. Yeah, there's not enough reward.
Yeah, using obviously you could see the reward for everybody else. Obviously superior Celebi. It's just you took out my early game, but I have Celebi in the back. If Probopass is my end game, I'm in fucking trouble.
Good. It's not looking good. All right, let's move on past this blob. Also not good. Might be one of the worst legendaries ever.
This is crazy.
This is so bad.
That's you're trying to pair this shit up with
Leafeon Mew or something.
That's like Leafeon Gardevoir.
Yeah, something weird.
Snorlax is trolly. I did see that video you sent. The Lumberry combo with just I was like, kind of funny that it puts itself to sleep. Like, what the fuck?
They're forcing their way to use Lumberry somehow.
Yeah, they're like, we got to give it to someone. Makes sense, but still not good, even with Berry.
Yeah, onward.
Another EV card. Have we gotten an EV card in every single expansion?
Yes.
Yep.
It's crazy. Staraptor, actually, I will say a quick thing. Staraptor got a potential.
Yeah, 3 energy, 130.
Staraptor, folks.
And Berry allows you to hit 1 energy.
Is this better than Arcanine? I don't remember its attack.
Yes.
Because you could pair this with Irida. And
you could Irida it, but also you can bury it. Berry? Berry does 2 energy less for the attack. Yeah. So you can hit a 1 energy Staraptor hit. That's 130. That's crazy. A lot. That's very good.
So you can get two 130 turns.
Yeah. And then you can just heal up with Irida if you're using water.
And just bust it up.
It's got potential, man. I know it's a stage 2, but a stage 2 that doesn't have an EX on the name is appreciated because you can do a lot of damage with that.
Truth.
So moving on. I know that was a odd pick, but
nice nuke.
Yeah. This is really good. I didn't think it was. I kind of overlooked it. I'm not gonna lie. It's very overlookable because you're not doing shit with it except throw it on the bench. However,
active basic Pokemon with just 1 less retreat cost.
It's allowing it's giving a little bit more life back to the retreating in and out meta that we started with. Because you don't need so many items to do it. You can just do it. So this is pretty good.
It's being used in the Leafeon deck.
Yeah.
And the Arceus deck.
Plus, let's say your initial hand, you had to put out
the wrong Pokemon.
Yeah, you put out the wrong Pokemon, you put Shaman right on the bench, and then you just swap them out.
Yeah, it saves you. So it's got, especially in the early game, super good.
Definitely.
I haven't experimented with it yet. I also haven't pulled it because fuck this game. But but I can see it working in my mind.
First impressions. First impressions.
Yeah. Still haven't really pulled anything. This is whatever.
That's just literally there.
It's a
to
placeholder.
use the deck.
Yeah. Okay. This. I know I said Leafeon might be the best. Its only contender is this.
All right.
This is what Pikachu wanted to be. Pikachu, this is your father.
I mean, kinda.
Wait.
It's the Pokemon God.
He's everyone's father. Yeah, this thing's really good, and I'm hearing a little bit of buzz right now in the meta, videos and forums or whatever, that this deck might be the most consistent deck, period. And guess who's his buddy? Ya boy, Dialga. Dialga finally found a good partner. I mean, it didn't take that long, but this actually works well together. And you see it with Shaman sitting on the bench. You can kind of see Dialga and Arceus popping in and out. And it's good. 130 is a lot of damage. And it actually allows, if you compare it with Giovanni, I know we thought Giovanni was dead as a card, but you never stop Giovanni. Giovanni, I think, is making a comeback because 140 hits a lot of things.
It takes out a lot of things.
Yes, it does.
It's an awkward number, 130, but
130. Yeah, there's not a lot of Pokemon that just have 130 HP.
Except Celebi, but
sure,
and Mew. But that 140 is
140 damage for potentially bringing him out after like 2 turns, because you can pump him 3 energy within 2 turns.
Yeah,
nothing can really survive it.
Yeah,
in the first 2 turns of a game.
And we haven't seen a lot of like poison, sleep, burn. We haven't seen that be necessarily like really good yet. But the fact that even if it does become good, Arceus can always be the counterplay to not getting affected by special conditions. I think that's just an extra layer that's kind of busted.
And now because he's colorless, you can heal him. There's flexibility there. You can have you can have a Shaman on bench to heal him passively. You can use water energies on him because he's colorless. You can use Arita now.
Yep. You can cape it. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Arceus is really good. And I mean, we just went through a bunch of cards that all connected to Arceus, right? So it's a staple no matter what. It's just a matter of which version of Arceus is best. And I think right now it's still early. It's only been a couple days the game came out, or this update came out. But the fact that people are already saying Arceus Dialga might be the best now, it says a lot, because that's not even really an Arceus deck. That's just giving Dialga finally a partner.
All right.
The trainers, support cards. The GOAT.
This is one of the best cards that came out.
It just it doesn't even because it doesn't discriminate typing. It
does. It's water.
Well, no, not like typing of the card.
As long as there's a water energy attached.
Yeah, Erica is solely for grass types, but
true,
this is just for energies.
True.
So there's so much flexibility with Arita.
No, not so much, but more. There's more flexibility for sure.
Yeah, you can just the fact that Manaphy will throw it on anyone. That it's like a dream. It's like a match made in heaven. Those two. just imagine it. Can we just Photoshop Manaphy freaking hugging Arita right now? Like they're in love.
The pairing made in hell. Because I'm never going to get any of those. I don't think I have a Manaphy.
I don't have Arita.
Arita.
Really? I have both.
Actually, no, I do. I have one alt Manaphy, but
there you go.
Arita.
Buy the other ones. Don't be cheap. Buy the other one.
What are you waiting for?
Every old person has that hand behind the back.
Great for the spine. This card has potential. This is the first Monster Reborn. I don't know what else to compare this to. We finally have a card that can bring something back to life.
Bring that Arceus back from the fucking dead.
Honestly, this made those freaking 18 trainer Pachirisu decks and the freaking 18 trainer Articuno decks more annoying. Because it's like, you're back. Great.
Great. Barry, we talked about him. It is what it is. Very vertical slice usage.
Pretty solid. It's a better blue. Steel's just not good enough, but I could see it being on a steel.
Steel more stalling for steel type
that's
decks.
our last one.
Yeah, it'll be good later. But
check out the colors on my man KADmon on that fucking full art.
Oof,
it's a pretty nice full art.
Okay, quickly, what are your favorite arts?
Not Barry.
Favorite. I mean, dude, I don't know what they.
Go down to the Garchomp. That was scroll. That shit.
That's
lit. I didn't even see that.
That's your favorite?
No, but I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that
Arceus in the background. Fucking
it's
lit.
cool. It's for sure cool. I don't know, man. They just go hard with Leafeon. They just so much vegetation and just that sunbeam every time. It just gets me. But okay, I'm gonna give two answers here though. I just wanted to give a shout out here. Keep killing it with that style of art for Leafeon. Okay, this one is sick. I love it. It's dark. It's gloomy. When you want to do when you want your focal point, you can attack it a couple of different ways. In this sense, it's not really super high contrast, but you got that red. You got that red surrounded by all that blue, and it's just really ominous and very cool. The other one is this one because it's hilarious. This one's so dumb. I love it. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? It's a very similar vibe to the that sushi Pokemon.
Tatsugiri.
Yeah. So it's very, very similar.
We could put that card side by side.
Yeah.
Which one's goofier? Poll.
But yeah, those are probably my two extremes in one direction or the other. Obviously, yeah, like Johnny was saying, this is very dynamic. You got your circular composition going on, nice framing device. It's all very nicely done. But these ones are a little different. You don't normally see stuff like that, and that one's just.
They did miss an opportunity to make the Garchomp versus Giratina card again.
Oh, that would have been a cool shout out.
Big miss opportunity.
You're right.
We need a Giratina versus Arceus.
We need a good Giratina card. What the hell? Why are they doing my boy like that?
You want to glaze a little bit, Johnny?
Oh, I glazed enough before, but I'll do it again. I got another bullet in the fucking chamber for Glaceon.
Jesus.
Did your hand just slip under your mic?
It's been under the mic for a while.
Moves away from the mic.
I love that Magnemite.
Yeah, I pulled that today. I love
you
it.
did?
Cool.
Yeah, I love that.
That's pretty cool. I will say my favorite is probably the Houndoom.
Yeah.
Houndoom, whatever. I just think it's so cool. It looks like it just killed something, and now it's like you're next.
That should have been the real card in Shrouded Fable.
This could have been a rainbow, honestly. This could have been one of these.
Yeah. They could have traded one of these fucks.
I mean, am I happy it's a lower rarity, so it should be easier to pull? Yes, but it could have been that.
Me and Duncan already have it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Level up.
That pseudo, and a shout out to Sudowoodo, because what the fuck are you doing?
You just fucking have him out there.
I
again.
guess to round out the art discussion, how do we feel about this? We've seen it, right? We've all seen the immersive.
I've seen the immersive. I feel like it was the least effort immersive out of all the ones that we've seen, and because of that, I feel like it's a little bit of a target. I feel like it was a very lazy.
I think the least effort was the Celebi.
Well, oh, I don't even know what the Selby was.
There you go.
Never got it. Don't know.
I have
Yeah.
2. I could trade you one.
You're looking to really use those trade points.
Look up the Selby.
Dude, I'm actually traded so much
Do you
recently
need,
that I'm
do
out.
you need a immersive Charizard, or do you need like any other immersive?
If you have a Mewtwo or one of the birds, I'll take it.
I have. We'll
We can
talk
talk.
later.
We can talk.
We'll talk.
I'll offer more, but I don't want Pokemon to ban us. It's in their rule set. We can talk offline.
I.
All right, I'm gonna. Should I close out the screen share?
Yeah.
We're
fuck
so
you,
close.
Barry.
We're so close to an hour. Anything else you guys want to say?
Almost chucked Barry into the ocean. IRL.
Well, IRL. Who's Barry?
We all know who Barry is.
Who's Barry?
Who's Barry? Come on, Johnny.
You still got 22 seconds.
He's panicking.
Uh.
Stage fright. That's gonna be a bitch and a half to edit.
now he pulls
Turning
up
off his camera.
Glaceon on the screen so he can fap for the last 3 seconds.
And on that bombshell, bye, cats.